Greetings, dear ones. It's an absolute pleasure to have you join us for today's engaging episode of Real Women, Real Talk, where I'm your host, Sarah Renshaw, and I'm beyond thrilled to introduce to you today's guest, Mary Armendarez. Mary is coming to us today from the Laguna Beach area in California, where she shares her inspiring journey and resides with her caring and supportive husband and their four-legged family members. Mary's path intertwined with ours when she reached out to me, eager to share her transformative tale with us. A true beacon of healing intuition, a motivational force, and a power retrieval coach. Mary's life mission centers on elevating others' vibrations and guiding them to embrace their innate power. A decade ago, amid a time of profound self-exploration and introspection, Mary decided to break free from the clutches of fear and anxiety that once held her captive. During this transformative odyssey, the radiant light of the 12 archangels from the central sun illuminated her path, revealing the transformative art of power retrieval healing techniques. And armed with this newfound wisdom, Mary underwent a metamorphosis to become a confident person who lives a free life, loves herself, and has control over her life. Her passion now radiates through teaching others to uncover and harness their internal power, allowing them to realize their boundless potential and attain the treasures of their own freedom, self-love, and abundance. So, without further delay, help me to warmly welcome our lovely guest, Mary. Mary, it's a delight to have you here. So tell us, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to share some tips and get to know each other and see what we could stir up and help other people today. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. It's my pleasure. It's our pleasure, because I know you've got some good stuff to share with us that's going to be beneficial for all of us women who are, seeking, who are in a place of needing some guidance. And so I'm super excited to hear about your gift and what power retrieval. Tell me, what is it? Power retrieval, right?
Yeah, power retrieval. So for my story was through my whole life, I was always giving my power away, and I was giving my power away now that I really look at it, to men, constantly pleasing men, always having this step out the door to jump into a new relationship instead of going, what is going on? Why am I always looking to have a foot out the door to something new? And I finally discovered I didn't love myself, and I didn't have enough self-worth, right? I wasn't filled up with enough self-worth. So I was always seeking somebody else to fill me up. And it was like, I can't continue to do this, because, every time you do this to yourself, you're leaking your energy and it's depleting you. And then you're filled with fear and anxiety and what's my next step? And you're just out of control. Until my daughter, so I had a daughter when I was 18. I was in an all Catholic girls' school, and my skirt kept raising up. And then it finally got me. So that being raised Catholic, that brought in a lot of shame and a lot of guilt. And I couldn't even be around my parents because of the Catholic beliefs of, you're a bad girl, you are going to go to purgatory. Remember purgatory? You're like, oh my God, I'm going to be in this place. So I married a man who was 20 years older than me.
Okay.
After I had my daughter. And he had complete control over me because I gave my control over to him, right? So I can sit here and go, oh, I was a victim. I was a victim, instead of going, no, you didn't have the will to speak up for yourself. You didn't have the worth to go, I don't need to be treated like this. I didn't have any of that. I gave it all away. But I was
But so at 18 years old, you know, how without the right guidance, it's like, how do you know until you go through it?
exactly, you can't go around, you got to go through it, right? And I didn't have the tools. I was from a family of 10, so it was like, once you hit 18 or you weren't in school, my parents kicked you out. So it was like no nurturing, no love, none of that. Now,
You're on your own.
yeah, my whole family, we could all be victims on that. My sisters and brothers could all be victims on that, but you can't. You chose your parents, you chose that path, right?
Mhm.
So so I stayed in that relationship for like 20 years. And I was a big bright light. And he hated that because people were attracted to me because I was so loving and compassionate. But what I was doing is actually leaking my energy and giving my energy away to other people. Until one day my daughter said, Mom, you have to read this book on the angels. And I went, oh, read the book, resonated to me. And I went, oh my gosh, I needed change. Oh my gosh. So the angels started just really showing me how to do healing. And I started studying with Belinda Womack, and she channels actually the 12 archangels. And so her teachings, the teachings through them, helped me grow my confidence, helped me step into my power. And I actually started doing self-healing tools, tangible self-healing tools, and that the angels were like, this is what you need to do. And I was like, okay, well, check this out. Nordstrom called and said, we want your kits in Nordstrom. I was like, what? These funky little kits in Nordstrom. They sold out in 2 weeks during Christmas. 2 weeks, gone. And I thought, wow, this is real. Their power is real. And you have to accept their power. Right?
And how old were you at this point?
I was 42.
Okay,
Like,
so you'd been, I mean, at this point you'd been married. This was probably getting towards the end of
it was done. I was already divorced from him when I was with my new husband, who opened the doors to, Mary, what do you want to do? Mary, you have gifts and talents. Mary, here you go. And I was like, oh my God, this is a miracle, right? From being shut down, put down, and then having somebody go, oh my gosh. So it was just amazing. So my daughter and I started this business, and we sold our kits and this and that. And then
tell me about your kits. I missed that part. So
the kits are, I'll show one to you right here. This one is connect to your divine child.
okay.
See it?
Yep.
So there's different kits for you to have tangible, because we need that to be able to look at colors, be able to look at your divine child. So there's a little, your picture, you put your picture in there and this and that. So these kits are all healing kits. And Nordstrom wanted them. And I was like, I can't believe this. This is.
And what year was that? Because
that was in 2019.
Okay, so that makes sense. I mean, I feel like that's about the time that humanity really started kind of like opening up to healing, and what does that mean, and kind of like giving us the language, giving us the idea of that it's not, healing is not one way, whether it's a therapist or, shame and guilt and just hide it and forget about it and move on. Just that's in the past, forget about it. Now, I think around 2019 is when we started having the language for it. And then obviously in 2020, when that happened, everyone had the time to think about those words.
Mm-hmm. No, there was a reason why we went through that pandemic. There is a reason why we're going on this path we're going on, because what source, God, whatever you want to call it, wants to happen is us to all unite again as a community. So that's what we're trying to get back to, is being united as a community.
I couldn't agree more.
Mm-hmm. So that's what our vision is. That's what our hope is. And you and I doing the things that we're doing opening up to other possibilities for people so that they can step in and go, oh, it's all about love. Oh, it's all about oneness. What does that mean? When one is harmed, we're all harmed. When one is loved, we're all loved. So more and more, you're seeing more love. But you know what you're seeing too is you're seeing the duality too. So you're seeing the worst get worse. And so it's crazy, isn't it?
Yep. It is very crazy. Will you tell us a little bit more about the 12 archangels and who are they? What is that?
Okay. So the 12 archangels from the essential sun, the number is symbolic, of course. But if you ever learn about the 12 archangels, there's 12 kingdoms, right? So this is what I've been taught. So we've got source, all knowing, all the energy. And then they've got the 12 archangels that comes directly below source. And the 12 archangels are here to help Earth learn that that the energies of Earth is fear-based, and we're here to learn that fear is an illusion and love that is what is all that matters, right? So the 12 archangels are actually in our solar system, right? So Saturn, for instance, is Archangel Michael, right? And then we've got the moon, which is super powerful, which is my beliefs is our grandmother. Because if you think about it, Archangel, so her name's Archangel Morgan. I'm getting the chills right now because we have the super moon. So she's like, whoo.
And I feel the same way. It's like growing up, I had kind of the opposite experience where I didn't have any kind of spirituality, no religion, nothing. Like it was just survival. And so without anything, for me, the moon was who I prayed to, what I felt connected to without any kind of guidance or any knowing of anything. So you saying it's like, yep, I completely feel the same way.
Oh yeah. And you just, especially with the super moon, you go outside and just raise your hands or just stare at it. And that energy just flows through you. And it's feminine energy. So it's filling us up with that yummy feminine energy that we need. So we feel super safe, secure, and expanded, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's expansion of them. So for Earth, the angels, this is from the angels' beliefs, the Earth is actually our mother, right? Because I don't know about you, but I had a mother that had 10 kids. So she was not the most loving, compassionate mother. And, I could be a victim about that too, but I'm the one who chose that path and I had to learn that. So you've got Mother Earth and then you've got your grandma, Moon. So where are we? We're right in the middle of those two. So once you learn how to ground yourself with that energy of Mother Earth, and then pull on that energy of your grandma, that's how I think of her, man, it's amazing. It's amazing. It really expands you.
Connect into that light that connects the two, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So the 12 archangels have taught me how to go in and that victim consciousness, those deep subconscious things, go in and teach myself how to heal those wounds, how to heal those past wounds. So now I know that I'm out there to help others do the same thing because we're constantly leaking our energy. We're constantly in a victim conscious mode. We have beliefs and patterns that we can't get out of, and they're keeping us stuck.
Yep, right? Especially the negative beliefs, the negative thoughts.
So
because the more we think them, the more we go in that way, and it just keeps us in this revolving pattern. It's like, I'm trying so hard, I'm doing everything I can possibly do, and I just can't get there. I can't get there.
I know.
I can't, I don't understand, and so those negative patterns, and without some kind of guidance, I've found for me, it's like, I need spirituality. I need those tools to remind me that I'm not alone, and then that there is something greater than myself, the angels, the earth, the moon, that have my back, that when I'm in those desperate moments, even after all these years of healing, and I'm sure you can account to this as well, of like, you still come to those moments of like, what the F is going on?
I know. And it doesn't stop. Something new comes and faces you. You're like, oh, I thought I was over this, but you're not. And to go back with what you were saying is that here on earth is the only place in the great cosmos where we have free will. So what does that mean? Oh man, we have free will. So that means that we can do whatever we want, right? Maybe you have your sole purpose is to go this way, but you keep going that way. So what do? You call on your angels. You say, I am is so powerful because that is calling on your oversoul. I am powerful. I am peaceful. I am strong. You're calling on that energy of your oversoul that is always in heaven. But there was a point, see, I get so excited that I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah. So free will, the angels and your guides, because we all have our team of guides. We all have our team of angels and guardian angels and our guides. And if we don't start calling on them, they can't help us. And so that's what I'm talking about free will. If you really want to change and you really want help, you've got to call on them. And, through the years, I'll forget. And I'm like, oh, because you're so excited. Everything's going well. And then you forget and you're like, oh, shishi, my life's starting to go bad.
And then the interesting part is, as soon as you start utilizing those tools again, start your mindfulness practices, your meditation, your mantras, things start going better.
They do. And it's interesting that we're talking about this because this morning in my meditation, what came out was Archangel Michael, and had me standing in his violet flame of truth and will. And if you start standing in that flame of truth and will, you're standing in your highest, best possible way. You won't be able to lie. You won't be able to go on that wrong path. So try it for a few days. Just imagine yourself just standing in that beautiful sapphire blue flame coming through your whole body, and watch what happens. It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's very cool. So are there colors that are associated with the angels?
I'd say yes. But the thing that yes, of course there is. Okay, so like sapphire blue for Archangel Michael. And then the moon, the energy, Archangel Morgan, is that milky, creamy white, right? And you could actually go up to the moon in your meditation or your intention and ask her to show you what the moon really looks like, and go and bathe in the beautiful energies of the white energies in there. And it'll fill you up with that grandma safety, security energy. It's so restorative if you can really go up and try it and lay in her baths, or whatever you want to call it, or rivers or lakes or whatever. And then we've got Archangel Chamuel, and she is what is she? She is I can't think of what planet she is right now, but she is the divine feminine energy. We got a lot of divine feminine energy angels, but she's the ruby red. And we need to have that because that's the divine feminine energy. So working with her, I always imagine I'm sitting on a ruby red couch, and she's just there, and I put my head on her lap, and she's there just making me feel better. And then I call in little Mary and have little Mary come lay down, and we're both laying on this ruby red, and you'll be surprised what the emotions will come up. The beautiful emotions that you don't even know are so deep that need to come out and cry, like you'd go run to your mom and you just need to cry. So yeah, there's so many beautiful energies working with the angels. Another great thing is doing a medicine wheel or a sacred space wheel. And the sacred space wheel, I just created this. The angels came in and I just created this. So I'm sorry for the people on the podcast, you can't see this, but I'm going to show you because it associates with each Archangel. So if you really want to step in and get your power revved up, you call on the power of the air, the power of the north, Archangel Gabriel. Okay. And I'm just going to show you this first. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. So this is the card. This would go in your north. And then you call in the power of Archangel Michael. It's associated with fire, the power and the power of the east. So you're just, it's like what the Indians used to do, right? Because they were all connected to the elements. And then this is this card. So that goes to the east. And then you call on the power of the earth. This is associated with Archangel Ariel. So you call on Archangel Ariel, you call on the power of the earth. And so this would go in your south, right? So you're calling on the power of the south.
Okay.
And then you call on the power. And it's interesting because now I'm really stepping into this, and I've always been scared to, because I was scared to step into my, I was letting my divine feminine energy not build up within me. See, that's why I always had these problems. I was always like giving my energy away. I didn't respect my divine feminine, right?
Mhm.
And the water,
Because
emotion.
Okay.
Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Raphael comes with the power of emotion and helps you like get your, together. You've let that energy flow through you, right? And then the key to all of this is the ether, the power of the ether. That goes in the middle of your medicine wheel, okay?
Mhm.
And that's Archangel Metatron. So Metatron is a great one to call on. Once you've called in all the angels and they all come around you, he's the one who makes the energy work to connect to source. So now you're connected to earth and you're powering up to source. And it's like, whoa.
With all of those angels beside you or holding you up.
That's right, baby.
You.
Yeah, it is incredibly powerful. And you do that every day. Like I can feel the energies coming around me right now because it's powerful and it's your intention, and they're going to come when you call. But you, like I said, you have free will, man. You start calling because they're not going to come. You're going to keep going down that crappy path and you're like, oh God.
We don't call them in. How do they know that we need their help?
Exactly.
They're busy with billions of people all over the planet. So with the intention of saying, hey, I need some help here. I need to focus some energy. So, and I can't do it alone because we can't do anything alone. I think that's what I have suffered with, a lot of my life, because I, like you, my mother, my parents were not around. I didn't know my father, and my mother was too busy in her own life. So from a very young age, for me, it was about survival. It was about, you got to figure this out on your own. So whatever you need, you got to do it. And so I grew up with this attitude of like, I got this. I got it. I don't need anyone. I can handle it. And you get to a point in life, or I got to a point in life, and it's like, I can't handle it anymore. I can't do like you do, giving all of my energy away, giving my power away to men, because, having that looking for that parental figure, because I also married someone 20 years older than me. So having, oh, okay, give it to him, give it to him, give it to him, because I owe it all to him for saving me or whatever, right? But still, I believed that I can do this on my own. I can do this on my own, going through these challenging times. And what I realized finally to start really on my healing thing is that I can't do it alone. I can't, and so I needed to find spirituality. I needed to find something that would have my back, something that I could pray to, talk to, connect with, believe in, to call in the energy, bring that force to help us. So it's lovely to hear. I've obviously I've heard of the angels and I've done some work with the angels, but I had never heard of it the way that you're describing it. So it's very cool to learn another tool.
Yeah, there's so many tools, and the best tool that I could give your listeners is to work with the color of violet. And some people call it the violet flame. I call it violet, the color of transformation and forgiveness. And that is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. And because the crown chakra is violet, right? It's this violet color. And when your mind is racing, and you can't you're in the hamster wheel and you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to happen in the future. Oh my gosh, I know it's going to repeat. Stop. And what you do is you just imagine a violet fire rain shower, or this is cool, violet fire hat on your head. Because it is transforming your thoughts right away. And you can make your hat have a feather. You could make it like whatever your imagination is, but make sure it goes to the tip of your ears, because it's all of this. And that will take you out of that mental, crazy ego mind that absolutely makes us make bad decisions. It truly does, because we're in a panic mode, and that'll calm you down so you can go, okay, let's just take a moment here. Thank you. And you can always say, angels, help me out, man. I can't stop thinking. Help me. I need help. So there's a lot of great tools, but the violet fire flame energy is the most powerful energy. And the most powerful thing you can say is, I forgive. I forgive, even if I don't want to forgive that son of a gun. I forgive anyways, right?
Yeah, for yourself, because that's, you know, you're the one who's in that trap. You're the one who's, you know, going in circles, trying, you know, in the hell, in the middle of like, you know, so in order to say, I forgive, it's like, you know, that's whoever that person is, that's their journey and what they're going on. But for you, it's the best to say, I forgive, let's let it go, for your own peace of mind, for your own ability to bring it back to center, to calm things down. It's not for them, it's for us.
It truly is. And you say this too, because you were in that situation for a reason. So you say, and thank you for the lesson you taught me. Whoa, now that's powerful.
Totally, because I totally believe that we chose this path, you know, we chose this to learn things that we needed to learn, and the situations and the partners and the challenges, you know, it's we did it ourselves.
I'm always like, why did it take me so long to figure my, you know what out? And I'm like, oh, finally. So yeah, I was able to learn how to take these tools and put them all together. So now I can help people and have sessions with people so they can learn how to break those patterns, learn how to retrieve their power, learn how to call their energy back, because energy never dies.
Circulate.
So, yep. And if you don't take care of it now, you're just going to come back again, and you're going to go through the same thing in a different way.
Yep.
Until you learn how to. And another great thing is you go into a violet fire ocean. Okay. Now you're in an ocean and you're calling in your past lives. You're calling in your ancestors, because we bring our ancestors crap with us too. So you go in and you forgive. You forgive for your ancestors. You forgive for your past lives. You forgive for your future lives. You forgive for your present lives, and watch what happens. The miracles, the energy that is going to come back to you is tenfold. It's just amazing.
Wow. I love it. So can you tell us a little bit about what a power retrieval session looks like?
Sure. So what I like to do is I like to start with an intention. And before I even start, you know, before our session even starts, I've already gone in and have talked to your guides, your angels, your higher self, see where you are. And then I call in the angels, I call in your guides, and we'll sit there and we'll bring these energies in, and we'll get centered and purified. And once that happens, the subconscious goes, oh, it's time to bring some stuff up. And then we set an intention. What's our intention for today? What do we want to look at? Where are you repeating your patterns? Where are you stuck? Right? So we'll look at those things, and then we'll go in and we'll do a healing where we'll clear those past patterns, we'll clear these beliefs. So I take people up into the library beliefs, and you would be amazed how many beliefs that we have that are holding us back from our true potential of why we're here. And it's amazing what happens, because I'll have clients sitting like we're on Zoom right now, sitting in front of me, and you can see the darkness, the heaviness, all this stuff is just stuck to them. And as soon as you go in there and you release those beliefs in the library of beliefs, that's in your deep subconscious. It's just a word for your mind to go, okay, I get what we're doing. So we're literally taking books out of your subconscious and we're throwing them in the violet fire, right? And it's amazing. All of a sudden, you could just see the lightness and their energy and this heaviness, because these beliefs that we have, sometimes they're not even ours. They're from our ancestors we're carrying around.
Wow.
So we've got this heavy baggage. And then once you're ready, because it's very emotional and it works quickly, we can go deeper and deeper and deeper. So we're like going into the basement, and we're going in the lower basement, and then we're going, what, you understand what I'm saying? We're going through the subconscious
Absolutely.
levels.
Yeah, because there's things that, the things that we don't even know that we don't know.
Exactly.
Right. So it's like, it's a layering thing that you got to get through. So you have to clean off the top layer before you can get to the next one.
Yeah. And so it's interesting what you see, and you probably see it because I see it because we've been working on ourselves for years, is that there's always something new coming up, because you think you've cleared this. Nope. Something new's coming up and you're like, oh my gosh.
Or maybe it's from like another ancestor,
right,
or another relationship, or another thing, another person, another situation. And you thought you'd cleared it with this one person or this one situation, but it's in there deep from another situation in another form, another way, but kind of the same, the same lesson that you haven't learned yet, because you got to see it in this way.
It's so crazy. It is so crazy. And so once we go through there and we recognize what's going on, and usually somebody has like, this is what's happening, really specific problems that are going on. So we'll really go in and clear those. And, we ask the question, why? And then we need to start learning, what are you feeling? What do you need? So we don't step back into this pattern, right? So feeling and needing is what we want. What do we need? What do we need here? We need affection, attention, appreciation, right? That's the things that human beings need. Well, most of the time we're not getting those things, and we're looking outside for those things. See, we need to learn to look inside. What we're creating inside is a direct reflection of what's going on the outside.
Right. And what we're going to be attracting.
Yeah. So we're constantly attracting the same crap all the time, and we're not getting out of this. So the biggest thing is when you come to have a session with me, you got to say, I am willing. That is strong. That's powerful. I am willing to change this. I am willing to look at this. That's a strong, powerful thing. And so once we go in and we identify this and we start doing this is deep healing things, and you'll feel the energies, you'll feel the angels coming through. It's just amazing. It's changed my life, and it's changed so many people's lives. Sorry, I get so emotional.
No, please.
And so after that, I teach you how to fill yourself back up. So you get the tools on how to recognize that and fill yourself up, so you're not looking for the outside anymore. You can have the power within yourself to recognize, oh, there I go. Yep, that's what Mary said. That's the signal. There I go again. Okay, it's time to come back. The more you catch yourself, the more you can come back into center, and then your intuition, creative genius, all that stuff of who you are, your uniqueness, your power starts flowing through you clearly.
Wow. Okay, I want a session.
Okay.
I need a session, or maybe 10.
So it's and then I always go home, like I said, I will intuitively know what tools you need, because I will know what your weaknesses are, because we all have them. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. And so you can practice these tools. So yeah, it is powerful. And learning how to call your energy back is one of the most powerful tools that you can learn how to do.
Empowering, right? You take control of your life instead of feeling out of control, which I think traps us all, traps a lot of us, traps many of us. And even if, even after we've done the work again, or done so much work, you still get caught up on these things that, like you're saying, are so far in our subconscious that we're not even aware of it happening. And so in order to really get through to that, you have to bring that light in. You have to come back, your truth, your purpose, your reason, that positivity. And so to have those tools, to know how to do that, to recognize whenever you're going to the dark side, when you're going to the negative side. Because I find I do that often. Like you'll go off on this I'll go off on this tangent, and if the negativity starts, and I don't even realize I'm doing it until I start feeling bad, I'm crying, I can't figure something out, I'm frustrated, and it's like, why am I feeling like this? Yeah, because I'm disconnected again,
Yes. And sometimes you're disconnected because it's not even you. It's not even your energy. You could be picking up other people's energy and it disconnects you. See? So it's not all you, girl.
As an empath I am 100% an empath.
Oh my.
It's wonderful because you can hold space for people that need it, to help, to heal. You're right. And you just nailed it for me, is I take on other people's energy. I take on what they're going through and their heaviness. I take it from them so they feel better, but then I'm the one holding on to it.
No, and it's really hard for us because I'm the same way. And so you got to start protecting yourself. And I have a feeling you get it in your solar plexus in your stomach.
100%.
Yeah, I can feel you right now. Yeah. So you need to start. So what you can do, and you probably already do this, you just protect yourself in the morning and put that beautiful white bubble around you and expand yourself as tall as the tallest tree you can imagine. And what I like to do is have I can touch the top of the trees, right? And then bring the central sunlight or the sun and just place it on top of your head like a halo or a crown. And then make sure your roots are going all the way down. And I want you to imagine it going through the layers of the earth. Go through the layers, because then you're really pulling those cords down. And then just imagine Mother Earth coming up and just kind of holding you down there for a little bit. And then just say, okay, I am now plugged in. I am now plugged into Mother Earth. So now you're creating this expansive ball. Now check this out. You want to make sure your ball is really protected. So imagine that a running bull is coming at you. And if it pierces through, you need to build up that block just a little bit, right? And then do like a whole bunch of arrows coming through. And then if they bounce off, you're good. And then what I like to do for psychic attacks, because anytime anybody talks about us, it's coming to us. So I always imagine a vibration of voices coming at me, and then I see it bounce back off. So what you want to say is any entities, psychic attacks, or probes that are coming in my field get swiftly bounced off of me and return to the central sun. Because you are a bright light. So darkness is going to come to you. So you need to start doing that.
Attracted to that. I think you've nailed it. You're speaking my language, Mary.
I'm the same way. All of a sudden I'll be like out and about and I'm like, oh God, I was so happy. Now I feel like poo-poo. It's because I picked up everybody's energy. And do this before you go to bed too, because because you probably do. Sometimes you get bad dreams, you're in the astral field and you're picking up other people's energies when you sleep. So you want to protect yourself before you go to bed too. And that'll help you feel better, or just do it around your bed. And then
kind of that same vision of the white ball around us just the protection ball, right? So it doesn't like that, because I really liked the vision that you described. Maybe when you're feeling vulnerable, or when you're feeling vulnerable, to grow tall, to hug the trees, and to have your roots grow through the earth, and to have the ball around all of that. I really loved that vision. I think that it feels empowering. It feels wonderful. So that one I think is more empowering, but what you're saying is more of a protective ball.
Right.
So when you wake up and start your day, and before you go to bed at night, to kind of create this ball, this energy ball around you that can withstand the bulls, that can withstand the arrows, that can withstand the negative dark energy, and you just create this protection, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And another great thing too, if you want to use, bring in Archangel Michael, and this is on my website, everybody can download it for free. It's a free Archangel Michael protection. So Archangel Michael, it has this big sapphire blue sword, right? And when you call him out, especially if you're going to go out, like say you're going to go out drinking, or you're going to go to a hospital, or you're going to the bar, any of those places have got really low, dense energy. And being an empath, so this is what I do every time I go out. So we have a chakra that's in the back, that bone in the back of your neck.
Mm-hmm.
Feel that bone?
Yep.
That bone is where our soul goes in and our soul goes out, and energy comes in and energy goes out. So it needs to be protected. Now, if you look at the old ancient wise ones, they always have a scarf around their neck, or they're wearing a turtleneck. If you see the really enlightened people, they always have a scarf or something around their neck.
Yeah.
Always. So how do we protect that? Ooh, I just got the chills. Okay. So we call on Archangel Michael and we say, Archangel Michael, take your big sapphire sword out and put it down the top of my head, all the way down my spine. Now you're protected. And then I blow it out and put it around my big white bubble. So now nothing is going to come in your auric field, right? Because it's your field that you're protecting. And our field is like 9 feet wide. It's so massive. So make sure you expand it. That's why I'm saying the expansion is so important. This way and that way. Huge.
I love the vision of it, for sure. It makes perfect sense.
And if you don't do that, take your perfume or vanilla extract, whatever you have that you like the smell of it, and dab it right on the base of that bump. And that'll protect you too. And just set the intention. Okay, now my chakra is now protected. I am protected. Boom.
Wow.
Cool, huh?
Yeah, it's very, very cool. You are very insightful, and I love your energy.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really cool. So you do all of this work for others and helping others, and it's work for yourself as well. But what do you see, for yourself? What is it that you are looking to do to create for yourself? What are you wanting to share? We know your gift, but what's your bigger idea?
That is such a great question. My biggest thing and my purpose is that, and this is what gives me energy and gives me joy and gives me love, is to be in front of massive people and teaching them and bringing in the energies of the angels and letting them feel that is like the greatest thing I can ever ask for. I mean, if you've spoken in front of massive people, the energy is so lovely and it's so bright, and you see their faces change. And so that's in my future. My future as well is Power-Retrieval website is going to be up, and I'm going to have a course, and it's going to be reasonable. It's not going to be in the hundreds and all that, because I believe that people really need to learn how to step into their own power. So that's coming up. And then I'm going to have a podcast, and I'll have you on it for Power-Retrieval. So I want people to talk about their stories and give their tips of how they stepped into their power. So, and I will have a guest, and then I will be doing my own. So I'll do a guest me on my podcast, because I know my purpose is to speak is to speak about power retrieval, is to speak about how we can bring those energies back. So that is what my biggest joy is. And that is what I'm here to do. And I freaking love it.
Well, you're really great at it. And I feel your energy. And I know our guests are going to feel your energy and your gift, you know, and that's why I started Real Women, Real Talk, because I wanted to create a platform for women to share their gifts, to share their struggles, to share their you know, their lessons, what they've gone through, their journey, and then now to be able to be in the position to help other women.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well done to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think you and I are going to be good friends.
I know we are, Mary. Loving it so much. I think, you know, we need to keep doing, you know, more podcasts, more talks. I'm going to put all of your information in the comment section of the podcast and everywhere we put it, so that everyone can reach out to you, connect with you, follow you. And, you know, we just keep this conversation and in this, you know, I really believe that we're in this time, like we spoke of, you know, we both have spoken of it, of healing, right? The planet, everything needs healing, and we need to come together. And so we need to hold the space. We need to give people the tools. And I think that I know that we are right there, and we're doing that. And so I just love the sharing and creating, you know, a network, creating the space, creating the community. And so we just need to keep bringing them in. And we didn't talk too much about the masculine energy, but I feel like there's a space for that as well. So do you work with men as well, or?
Yes, but the thing is that I would love to come back on and we'll talk about the feminine energy and the masculine energy. And I'll show your guests how to work with those two energies at the highest vibration and the lowest vibration, and how to call your energy back. So if you would like that, I would love to come back and talk about that, because it's powerful and people don't realize even the angels and even God. So for me, God is mother, father, God. Okay. So all of us walk around with the feminine and masculine energies. So we could talk about that a lot.
I think it's super important, and it will be a whole other episode.
Absolutely. I'd love to.
Awesome. Well, Mary, I know you have to get on with your day. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time and for your love and for your energy. It's so good to get to know you, and to, you know, to hear your journey of coming from struggle and really having to find yourself and learn these tools that you can now share. Yes. So thank you so much for sharing and putting yourself out there and being vulnerable to hold space for others, because it's a reminder for others who are struggling, who have been where you've been, and to let her know in this case, that she's not alone, and your help will help guide her to brighter days. And so I definitely want to share ways for women to connect with you. And I'm going to be contacting you for some sessions.
We will have fun. I guarantee it.
I know we will. I know.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you, Mary. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Oops, wrong one. And I am stop recording. Stop recording.